Today we are out in the Cascade Mountain Range near Snoqualmie, Washington. We're going to be testing out the vehicle that we have with us here today. Now, as you can see, we have some great weather, some light rain, some snow at higher elevations we might see today, and also lots of puddles and mud. So it's really going to test out this all-wheel drive system that comes standard on this 2024 Kia Telluride SX Prestige X-Pro. Now, if you don't know what the X-Line or the X-Pro is, it was introduced back in 2023 when Kia wanted to find a market in that off-road three-row SUV segment, with some other competitors in that market having an off-road variant trim. They wanted to take a stab at it with the X-Line and the X-Pro. Now, this X-Pro is the top dog. This SX Prestige is the top trim. Give it the X-Pro treatment and you have an off-road oriented vehicle. Today, we're gonna go up the mountain and see exactly what that means in the Kia Telluride space and see if it really is off-road worthy. Taking a look at the front end of the X-Pro SX Prestige, you can see that the X-Line and X-Pro get this nice gloss black trim treatment, whether it be the bumper or the grille, the bumper, the side plastics, or even the surrounds on the windows. So starting off the front, gloss black X-Pro grille. We have LED fog lights, LED DRLs, and the ambers are back for the 2024 model year. LED headlights and LED everywhere. There is no incandescent bulbs found on this vehicle. Now, coming around the side, we do have all-terrain tires. These are Continental Terrain Contact all-terrains. They are a mild all-terrain, but an all-terrain nonetheless. Nice to have when you do have an off-road oriented vehicle. Now, from the X-Line to the X-Pro, they do ditch the 20-inch wheels and go 18-inch. That's nice because you can fit a fatter tire on it, get more sidewall to not only prevent punctures, but also protect your nice wheels from any scratches of rocks or things like that while off-roading. Now, the X-Line and the X-Pro get 0.4 inches more ground clearance than the standard vehicle, and that is due in part by the fact it does have off-road tuned suspension. Now, coming down the side, you can see that we have this gloss black treatment. Like I said, gloss black trim down below, gloss black window surrounds with this nice, like, kind of glossy metallic here. Now, up top, we do have these gloss black side rails that are on the X-Line and the X-Pro. No crossbars. That is an extra cost when you equip this vehicle. But around the back, there's really nothing else as a telltale sign this is an X-Pro, rather than this tiny little 2-inch wide badge that says X-Pro on the passenger side of the vehicle. We have the twin exit exhaust down below, gloss black lower valance on the rear, and overall nice design. The rear taillights were redesigned for the 2023 model year, carried over to 2024. Now let's jump inside and see what else makes this the X-Pro. And it's really all of one or two things. First off, being this black Napa leather. The SX Prestige does get this option. Then this is the main interior bit that makes this an X-Pro. It is raining pretty hard out, but the X-Pro is embossed in the back of the leather seat. Now that we're in the car and I have my soaking wet jacket off from filming that intro, it has now stopped raining as soon as I've gotten on the trail. So that's perfect. But luckily we have this X-Pro Telluride with us this week because we were able to test out the all-wheel drive and how it handles the roadway when the pavement ends, because the people that are going to be buying this are going to be a family with multiple kids or someone that just wants immense amounts of space, as it does have over 80 cubic inches of internal storage if you fold down the third and second row of seats. Now, this does have the V6 that the Telluride has had for a while, so when you are on road, it is enjoyable to drive. This is chock full of all the safety features you want, and I'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But when that pavement ends and you want to go to a camping spot, a trailhead, whatever it may be, this vehicle can do all of that, anything that you need. Luckily, this is the all-wheel drive equipped Telluride, as that is an option. Now, this is the SX Prestige, the top trim, equipped with the X-Pro trim add-on, as it's the most off-road capable version. So standard all-wheel drive, you have that 3.8 liter V6, lots of good power, 8-speed transmission. And when you are cruising on the road, you got the adaptive cruise control. You also have the highway driving 2.0, so it's kind of a semi-autonomous driving, which really helped on the way out here. It's only about 30 miles, but definitely a nice thing to have just to kind of take some fatigue off you and make it a little bit more of an enjoyable drive. Okay, so we have our first obstacle right up ahead of us. So we do have a fairly steep hill climb. There is snow trenches where your wheels would go, or the track width of a normal vehicle. Right now there's a Toyota Tacoma coming down, a Jeep just went down, and we are in a Kia Telluride. Tell me we don't fit in this community. But no, the Kia Telluride X-Pro is by far more capable enough. We do have all-wheel drive standard, as this is an X-Pro. The X-Line and X-Pro variants of any trim you get them equipped with, you do get all-wheel drive standard. So we have all-wheel drive, we have a snow mode. I have my traction control off because it just kills power. I am going to attempt to climb this. I have Grace about halfway up the hill filming on the big camera. We have the GoPro here and GoPro on the roof. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. Again, we do not have the center diff locked, so it is a front wheel drive bias vehicle. When need be, it will apply power to those rear wheels. Now when I climb this hill, it'll detect that there's going to be slippage, so it's just going to try to evenly distribute as best as possible. So right now, it's no big deal, just very simple hill climb. Right up where Grace is, it does get a little bit deeper in the center, and that's where 8.4 inches of ground clearance is really going to come into play. Now, I can't tell you whether or not 8 inches on the standard SX Prestige is going to be not as good as 8.4 in this current situation, but I would say that the more ground clearance you have in this type of scenario, the better. But right now we have 8.4. We're not scraping that snow right in the middle of the lane. We have our tires right on the outside, right where those ruts are already, and it's really just eating this up. I'm not really slipping at all right now, and again, I have traction control off because I don't want that to kill power while I'm on a hill and have me slide back. That's just a recipe for disaster. So as we're going up, we have a little indicator in that center dash telling us where the power is going. We're at 3 bars in the front, 3 bars in the rear, and it's evenly distributing that power just like we want it. So I'm kind of getting tossed around. As you can see me kind of trying to counter steer these ruts, and we're going up. I don't really feel any wheel spin. We'll see on that camera out there if there is. There we go. It's trying to toss us. The alternating tires bite us back into the track, so we're not slipping anywhere too bad. Again, I'm in snow mode, traction control off, and I do not have my center diff lock button on. And it's going to be able to climb this no problem. That is just a testament to how good all-terrain tires are, as well as all-wheel drive. When it does start to slip, you give it a little bit of wheel speed, it ejects that snow out of the treads on that tire, and you gain traction right back. The all-wheel drive system worked great right there. But we're going to keep going up this trail, keep bombing ahead, and see what we can find up here, and see if we can test any other functions on this vehicle and see if it's really off-road worthy. When the hill starts to go off to the side a little bit and you are in snow like this, it's just going to pull you into the deepest part. And that's exactly what I did. I'm currently slightly stuck. So what I'm going to do is document my journey. I do have 4 traction boards with me, so I should be able to get unstuck, fingers crossed. So right now I have snow mode on. I do not have the center diff locked as of yet. I have my parking sensors off because those beep like crazy when I am getting close to anything within 5 to 10 feet. And I am going to put it in reverse, traction control off. I'm going to start right now just in snow mode and see where I can get. So, nothing there, going drive, trying to find a little bit to gain momentum. Got a little bit there, straighten my wheels and punch it. Look at that. That's where traction control being turned off is going to save you. See, that traction control still kicks in no matter what. We're good. We're out. We're on pretty solid ground right now. Thank goodness for the all-wheel drive. Thank goodness for the all-terrains that come on the X-Pro, because if these were the 20-inch with those street tires on the X-Line, I might be in some trouble. So as we're going down this hill, I have my downhill brake control on, and that is down here on my left side, down by your left knee. You have your traction control off, your rear hatch release, as well as your downhill brake control button. So you go ahead and press that. A little green light will pop up on the top right of your tachometer, and it will say downhill brake control on. So what that does is assist you in braking while going downhill. So it will sense that you are going downhill and apply the brakes for you. So right now I am on a fairly steep hill. It is snowy and icy, and I have my downhill brake control on, and it is braking completely for me. As you can see, here's my right knee. I do not have my feet on any of the pedals, and it is doing it all for me. Now, I do like to keep my right foot near that brake pedal just in case it does get going a little bit too fast and I do want to slow down. You really need to be ready for that. It's definitely pretty good. It's not flawless though, so make sure that you are paying attention when using it. But as we start going down this hill that we earlier came up, it came up at fine. Let's see how it goes down, see if it has any issues using this downhill brake control. As we pull onto the freeway, we can punch it. As you can see on the dash, all the power is going to all 4 wheels, and that V6 is just screaming to get us up to highway speed. Now there is a review that Alex did about a month ago on a very similar trim of this 2024 Kia Telluride. So I wanted to keep this one a little bit different. As I am in the Pacific Northwest, we do have mountains at our disposal just 30 minutes from where I live. And this is the fully loaded version, so not only is it going to be good on the road, it should be good off-road as well. So for the X-Pro, you are ditching 20-inch wheels and you're going to 18-inch wheels. What that gets you is just more real estate for tire. And what that is you have more sidewall for airing down in sticky situations off-road if need be, or it just protects your wheel in general, because the smaller tire you have, the less sidewall and the less it protrudes out from the wheel. Just overall, you're going to protect your wheel a lot better with a fatter sidewall, and that's what you're getting with the X-Pro. Not only that, you're also getting your X-Pro embossed Napa leather inside. You're getting the X-Pro badge on the back, and you're also getting 0.4 inches more ground clearance than the standard vehicle. The X-Line gets that extra 0.4 inches of ground clearance. So in general, just 0.4 more, whether it be X-Line or X-Pro. And what that also gets you is not only more ground clearance, it gets you a better approach angle and departure angle. And that approach angle is 17.9 degrees and departure angle of 23.2. The standard is 17 degrees and 22.4 for departure. So that is noticeable in some situations, but for common folk, it's just gonna be it's not going to be very noticeable in the grand scheme of things, especially in everyday driving on road. Now, when you do a venture off-road, you might be able to notice that, but if you're in that situation where you are testing the maximum capabilities of your approach angle and departure, you probably shouldn't have this vehicle in that situation. One thing that sets the X-Pro apart from the X-Line or the standard SX Prestige is the extra towing capacity, and that is being achieved by Kia installing an extra heavy-duty cooling system to the engine. So they bumped up from 5,000 pounds maximum towing capability to 5,500. Quite a bit of weight in the grand scheme of things, because 5,000 isn't a ton in the grand scheme of things in the vehicle world. There's diesels that tow 20,000 pounds. But when you're talking about a 3-row, 7-passenger family vehicle, an extra 500 pounds can make a massive difference. So that's nice to have on this X-Pro. Not only do they increase the towing capacity on the X-Pro, on the X-Line as well as this X-Pro, you also get self-leveling suspension. So it is standard on the X-Line and X-Pro, and optional if you equip your vehicle with the tow package where applicable. A couple of other things that set the X-Pro apart from the standard SX Prestige is the fact that you have a 110 volt power inverter in that second row, your high utility roof rails, as well as all-wheel drive being standard, whether you choose the X-Line or the X-Pro. But what comes standard in the SX Prestige that you're getting in this X-Pro? So starting off, you have your dual 12.3 inch displays. One's your driver information display with your tachometer, your speedometer, as well as your kind of multi-display in the middle where you can look at your power distribution, your fuel economy, things like that, your navigation. And then on the right side, you have your infotainment system where you can control your phone calls, your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. That is standard. Now, little caveat about that is it is standard, but it is still wired. Even though this is a $55,000 to almost $60,000 vehicle, Apple CarPlay is still wired, not wireless. So strange to me. Now for this vehicle, I have the black Napa leather interior. You also have an option for a terracotta brown. It's kind of a rich reddish brown that makes this look a lot more fancy and a lot more expensive than it may be. But that is not what's equipped on this vehicle, just your basic black. But it's nice they use a little bit of a contrast stitching with that white. And these are X-Pro branded. If you go X-Line, those are X-Line branded. And obviously SX Prestige, you just get your basic seat. There is no branding on the seat back. Realistically, it's a great value for what you're getting. You're getting a lot of tech and a lot of luxurious quality throughout the interior, between your screens, your leather, your suede or Syntex suede headliner. And then when we start talking about the safety features, that's where it starts getting better. Now in terms of safety, the SX Prestige and the X-Line and X-Pro are chock full of all the goodies that you'd want in terms of safety. So the biggest thing being is the Highway Driving Assist 2.0. On long drives, this is really gonna make the driving that much easier because you can kind of relax and just keep your hands on the wheel, but you don't have to worry about following the lane lines. That'll kind of guide you. And also you can take your feet off the pedals because this does have adaptive cruise control as well as that follow car assist. So you can set your distance and it will follow that car in front of you, speed up or slow down to your desired speed. Now in terms of your other safety features, it's your basic stuff like your lane departure warning, lane trace assist, your front collision warning, your cross traffic warning, pretty much anything you could think of, this vehicle has. As this is the top trim, it's gonna have everything that you want and then some. Now this is a $55,000 vehicle, $55,500 and some change as equipped. It starts at the low 53s. So definitely not a cheap vehicle. There is obviously different X-Pros and X-Lines on different trims, as this is the fully loaded, chock full of safety features, interior features, off-road features, things like that. This is going to be the most expensive, and I do feel like it's still a good value at $55,000. There are some other vehicles that are competing in this 3-row midsize SUV segment that are going to be much more expensive, but there's also going to be vehicles that are a lot cheaper. So it just kind of depends on what you want. I think Kia gives you a lot of great value in the vehicle itself. If you are looking for this type of vehicle that gets a little bit better gas mileage, my recommendation would be the Highlander or the Grand Highlander from Toyota, due to the fact that it does have a hybrid powertrain and will get much better fuel economy, as it does get 20 to 21 miles per gallon combined. Off-road tires and all that, definitely not going to help the case. I'm talking way too much. Let me end this video off by thanking you guys for watching. Leave your comments down below and let me know if you like this SX Prestige X-Pro and what you think of this type of video. I really enjoyed filming it. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. And until next time, my name is Nick with Auto Buyer's Guide. I'll see you guys then.